Hey guys, I know I'm starting this about a minute early. I'm gonna get myself situated so you can see. Bear with me one moment. All right, everyone. So this is our second restorative class that we are doing from a for a remote session. If you saw my video on our Facebook page, I kind of gave you a couple of different options for different items to use if you don't have a block or a bolster or a strap. Everything from using a nice thick book. I have a third one that has joined my little batch over there. Book wise, nice, decent thickness. Just something to kind of help bring the world a little closer to you as we're moving through your practice today. We're going to hold postures for a minute, 2 minutes ish. I'm going to keep my phone nearby to make sure I'm holding us equal amounts on each side and get some music going as well. Beyond that, make yourself comfortable. However, you need to make yourself comfortable. I'm going to scooch back so we can kind of see more of me and less of the table and less of just my shoulders. So, start in a comfortable seat. And that comfortable seat can be this crisscross applesauce style, or new book that joined our bunch for a nice thick book to use is the Matterhorn. You can pop your hips up, sit on the book itself. That gives you a little bit more space for your hips to open and just gives you a little bit more support. As you're here, start to close your eyes or take a soft gaze where the edges of your vision get a little blurry. And just breathe here. Excuse me. Willow, hey, behave. I may have to show her off. She's kind of being a little smushy girl in the corner. So, start to breathe. Feel your chest grow big, your belly get big. Big, full inhales. On your exhale, allow your shoulders to relax down, hips to relax down, hands to relax wherever it's comfortable for you. So they can rest on the ground, or you can be palm down or fit palms up on your knees. And just start to breathe here. Taking a few moments just to kind of assess how you're feeling. Let's start with physically how you're feeling. Notice maybe if your neck's a little tight, give yourself a couple little neck rolls, dropping an ear to the side, just giving yourself a few wiggles. Put a little bit of background noise on. And we will not keep that on shuffle. So notice if your shoulders and your neck are feeling tight, allow them to relax down. On your next breath in, allow your hips to relax as you exhale. Everything getting a little heavy, taking whatever fidgets you need until you find that moment or two of stillness. Now that you've moved through your body physically, noticing kind of what's tight, what's a little tweaky, maybe your quads are a little sore from this wall sit challenge we've done, and just breathing in, trying to think of relaxing those muscles. We're going to move into just seeing how the week went for you, noticing how you felt, acknowledging how you felt, but holding no judgment. So as you inhale, give yourself a nice little mental scan. Everyone's had high points and everyone's had low points this week. Acknowledge the low points. They happened. Life happens. Notice those high points and hold on to them. Those moments during the day that made you laugh so hard your ribs hurt. Or maybe that goofy dance one of your kids did, or maybe you did in the kitchen and got a laugh from your roommate, significant other, your kids, maybe embarrassed your kids a little bit with it. That's awesome. That laughter, that levity. That's what I'm going to invite you to think about during your practice. That feeling of levity when you laugh so hard your ribs hurt, maybe you have tears coming out of your eyes because you're laughing so hard. Or it's that deep release of a laugh. You can keep your eyes closed throughout the entirety of your practice, or you can maintain a soft gaze. On your inhale, I want a big reach up, reaching your arms up towards the sky, getting nice and tall. And on your exhale, left hand's going to come to the right thigh. Just a very gentle twist here. Gaze can be down or starting to turn to look over your right shoulder. On your inhale, allow yourself to get tall, get big. And on your exhale, twist a little bit deeper into the space you just made. I'm going to maintain you just breathing here. I typically don't do a practice when I'm instructing. And I also don't know if you can't hear me if I'm turned. Few more breaths here, taking a little bit deeper if you need it. On your next inhale, we're going to untwist. Exhale, we're going to press the base of our hands. We're going to intertwine our fingers, press them up towards the sky. Getting nice and big, nice and tall. And on your exhale, right hand is going to come to your left thigh. We're going for gentle spinal twist here. And with your gaze, you can start looking down, and as you breathe and as you get deeper into this twist, you can start to bring your gaze from down towards the ground to maybe over your shoulder. Feeling yourself get nice and tall. Exhaling, twisting that little bit deeper. Think about twisting into the space you just made with your breath. Not grabbing onto your thigh and yanking yourself into position. A few more breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to untwist, get nice and tall. You can do the intertwined fingers again. We're going to press it up. This guy getting nice and big. Hands are going to come down. Wiggle those shoulders out. We're going to do a few little shoulder rolls. We're going to roll our shoulders forward, or up to our ears, and down our spine. So we're making these big circles. You can start small. Taking a few here. Gaze can be down, or you can look forward. Whatever works better for you. Maybe making the shoulder circles a little bigger. I'm going for 8 to 10 shoulder circles. If you need more, take more. And as you feel your shoulders loosen, let's take it in that opposite direction where we're pushing the shoulders back, pressing them up towards our ears, and then rotating them forward. So you can do small, getting bigger. Now, we're going to go for a little bit of a neck stretch here. That right hand's going to come down to the ground, or it can stay in your lap. Hand on the ground is going to give you a little bit of a deeper stretch. We're going to bring your left ear to your left shoulder. So you should get a lovely little stretch along your neck. Now, if it's comfortable for you, you can play with tucking your chin or lifting your chin. You'll get a different sensation each side. That left hand can hang out wherever it feels comfortable. It can also be on the ground. It can be in your lap. You can do what I was doing, where I was just feeling kind of like how my muscles were moving. Few more breaths here. Just moving, tucking the chin, lifting the chin. We're going to keep the chin in a somewhat neutral position. That left hand's gently going to press just to add a little bit of weight to the top of your head, just kind of allowing it to drop, adding a little bit more pressure. And if you need to, you can do a couple little shifts back and forth here. We're going to release, head's going to come up. Give yourself a little wiggle if you need it. You can readjust if you've been up on this, on your book or your block. You might have a block as well. To me, I was starting to dig into my hips a little bit. I don't need to sit on it too much longer. So, same thing on that left side. Left hand can come down or stay in your lap. Deeper stretch, hand on the ground. Lesser stretch, hand in your lap. Right ear is going to come to your right shoulder. Allow that drop to happen. Right hand's doing whatever it needs to, either staying in your lap or on the ground. And we're going to tuck the chin, lift the chin. Just doing it until you, yes, you should be feeling a really good stretch. If there's pain associated to doing this, like that kind of electric, reach out to Coach Stu. He might be able to give you a little bit more advice on that than I am. It should just kind of feel like that stretchy hurts so good feeling. Not like jarring electric, like you stuck your finger in an electric socket type of thing. Just a few more here. If you need more, as always, take more. If you need less, take less. Take what you need, leave what you don't. So we're going to do the similar thing where we're going to take our right hand, and gently, my fingertips are above my ear here. I'm gently going to pull my head down, more to add pressure versus grabbing my head and yanking it down. When you're ready, you're going to release. And just to help loosen up the neck a little more, we're going to look to the right. We're going to twist to center, look to the left. Just a couple times. And if it feels good, and do those little neck circles. If you're having any pain in your neck, don't do it. You can go back to shoulder circles if those felt good, or maybe doing any kind of wiggles that feels good for you. Neck circles, we're going to drop the chin, scoop it up the front, gaze comes up. If you feel your mind start to wander to the to-do list, come back to whatever this week made you laugh. It can be something big. It can be something small. Whatever brought that really joyful smile to your face and that joyful feeling to your heart. Maybe you have a newborn that just started smiling at you. It's always a good thing to smile at. Might not laugh at it, but you will smile. So from here, we're going to come into tabletop. So wrists are going to stack under elbows, under shoulders. You can line up your middle or your index finger to the edges of the mat to where they run parallel. You don't have a mat, I'm not using one, don't worry about it. Knees will stack underneath hip sockets. We're going to move through cat and cow. So we're going to drop the belly. So belly's dropping here, tailbone points up, shoulders pull back as gaze goes up. Then we're going to press the ground away from you, curling that spine in like an angry cat. Give yourself 5 to 10 just really good cat-cows here. Allowing your body to move, feeling each part of your spine move a little differently. Maybe you're a little tighter in your mid-back, but your upper back's really loose. Or maybe your upper back's loose. In this deep cow, maybe you're getting a really good abdominal stretch. After 5 to 10, and again, I know that's a big range, but you do what's good for you. Start throwing in some additional movement. So maybe curling your spine, pushing hips and shoulders in one direction as the rib cage pushes in the other. Or maybe When you move through that cat, you push back a little bit, pushing hips towards heels a little more, deepening the stretch just a little. Whatever movements are going to make yourself feel good. Shoulder circles. I'm a big fan of the hip circles, especially because I get a big stretch along like that outer portion of my hip. Few more breaths here, just kind of allowing your body to move. That left hand is going to stay planted. The right arm is going to reach up overhead. We're going to thread the needle. We do this in class all the time. That right hand is going to thread behind that left wrist. That right shoulder is going to come down to the mat. Now here is another little trick. You can use a book, or I've got my awkwardly sized bolster, which is a pillowcase with some blankets in it. You can bring your head to that pillowcase, just so you're not feeling strain in your neck. Now, if you need a deeper stretch, that left hand can reach long across the floor, reaching in front of you. Or if you need a deeper twist, that left hand wraps around your low back. In this position, I'm going to think about pushing that upper back in the opposite direction. So I've threaded right. I'm going to push out towards the right. That'll help deepen your stretch rather than just kind of like hanging out. And if you need to hang out, you hang out. When you're ready, left hand will plant. You're going to unwind. Give yourself maybe a couple little wrist twirls. Hand's going to plant. Opposite direction, left arm's going to reach up nice and tall, get it nice and long. You can thread behind that right wrist, bringing shoulder down to the mat. Again, here you can use that block or bolster to bring your head up. Need a deeper stretch. Right hand goes long across your mat, or if you want that twist, shoulder pop doing that one. In this position, I'm thinking about pushing my upper body back to get deeper into my shoulders. When you're ready, right hand will plant. You're going to push yourselves up. If you need longer, you take longer. Do those nice little twisties. We're going to move into puppy pose. So if you have a dog or cat, you've seen them do this. Your hips are going to stay stacked over your knees. Arms are going to walk out in front of you. Chest sinks down. Boom. Now, maybe you're not feeling anything in that posture. There's a couple of different ways to adjust. If you need a deeper stretch, if you need deeper sensation, one, your shoulders are way more mobile than mine. From here, you're going to curl your toes under, and hips, you're going to lift your hips up. That is not a posture I can hold for long. It makes my quads cramp. Now, if you went for that extra little knee lift, let's drop those knees. We're going to walk our hands to the left, push your rib cage to the right. That's going to help get a deeper side body stretch. As you need a deeper stretch, think about pressing through the base of your knuckles to push that rib cage up, out, and even think about looking underneath that armpit, the right armpit. We're going to switch directions so you can walk through that midline. Boom, boom, boom. Big, deep stretch here. A lot going on in those shoulders, a lot going on in those lats. I also realize that As I move through the practice, you may not be able to hear me super well, so hopefully me demoing helps. When you're ready, hands come to midline. Walk the hands underneath those shoulders. Back into that tabletop. Now, we're going to press through that right leg. So that toe is going to introduce a lot of stretch in the quad and in the calf here. I'm even getting a little into my hip here. My hips might be a little tight today. From here, your weight is going to shift forward. So weight shifts forward. That right leg is going to come out to the side. So we're trying to get that that like knee, ankle area in line with your hip socket. Roll the whole of your foot down onto the mat if you can. This might give you enough sensation here. As you need a deeper sensation, think about squaring up your hip. So that right hip may want to pop up really high, pull it down, and square it up to the ground. So this is going to introduce a lot of sensation into that inner groin area. If you still need more from here, hips push back to deepen the sensation. We want to think about pushing back here versus just kind of collapsing down. This isn't going to give you as much sensation as if I was up here and pressing my heel back, my hips back towards my heels. Few breaths here. Per usual, if you need more, you always take more. Weight's going to shift forward. I'm going to come back into that nice little half position here. I'm going to slide that right knee in. Starting in that same setup on that left side where that left heel slides back. And our toes are curled under, hip and heel presses back. Going for that deep calf stretch. Probably did a lot of jumping this week. A few more breaths here. Again, pressing that heel back as you need it. We'll allow that weight to shift forward. We're going to switch and go for that nice little inner groin stretch. So we're thinking left leg comes out to the side. Rotate that whole foot down onto the ground. Then I'm squaring up my hips. I got a lot of sensation already going on here. As I want more, and as this is starting to feel like, all right, starting to feel a little more stretch, I'm going to ease on a little bit more, pushing hips back. Again, thinking more about squaring the hips before pushing the hips back here. Hopefully everybody's feeling something because I'm feeling a whole lot of something here. When you're ready, if you need more, you take more. Weight shifts forward. We'll slide back in, coming into that tabletop. First down dog here. So coming into that down dog, hands are pressing. So we're pressing through the base of all of our knuckles, toes curl under. We're going to lift the hips, push the chest back before we straighten the knees. I'd rather your knees be a little bent and you be able to push back a little more than for your legs to be straight and you're in this kind of odd position where you're maybe your chest is pressed up, you're not in a nice deep V. So bending the knees allows you to get a straighter back. Go for it. As you want it, pedal out your feet here. So drop one heel low, bend that opposite knee. We're going to go low lunge, right side. So right foot will step through between your hands. Back knee drops. Hands come to your thigh. Press those hips forward. As this is feeling comfortable for you, if you want a deeper sensation, you can start to think about pushing that left hip, really squaring yourself up, tucking that pelvis under. Hands can reach up overhead or stay at your heart. They can also stay on your thigh. There's nothing saying you got to stretch up. If you're here and you want more side sensation, pivot so you can see a little better. We're essentially doing a Samson stretch here. You can also place that right forearm on your leg and reach up and over to the side, introducing a lot more side body sensation here. Now we're going to come up, half split or runner's lunge. So as a reminder, hands will frame that foot, hips will shift back. I'm making a nice little 90-degree angle with my back leg. The front leg straightens. So if you're looking at me from the front end and you feel like your right hip is popping up a lot, pull it down and back. Square up those hips. If this is making your knees not happy, if you're not happy, I'm grabbing Matterhorn. You could also grab Deathly Hollows right here as well. And bring your hips down onto those books and focus on folding your chest forward. You'll get just as much sensation without having to worry about balance and pain on your knee. We're trying to get a lot of stretch in that hamstring. Point, flex the feet. You see how dirty the feet are. I'm going to keep these books close by. I'm going to try to get a little deeper into my hamstrings. There's going to be a lot going on right now. As you're ready to move, if you want to move, this is giving you a lot of feels you need to hold on to the feels. Shift your weight forward. We're going to go low lunge, so that lizard lunge. Low lunge is that transition. Right foot will heel toe out of the way. So boom, you're here. Maybe that feels good for you. Those books can come in super handy again, or you got blocks, use your blocks. Forearms can come to the block or your books just to help you deepen that posture. Maybe your forearms come all the way down to the ground. That left hand or forearm can stay planted. Right hand gently presses that thigh out. If you want that twist, hold on to it. When you're ready to move, hands come back in underneath those shoulders. Pigeon. So you can go for figure four on your back. I'm going to talk through pigeon first before I give you that figure four variation. That right foot's going to heel toe over. We're going to try and get that shin parallel to the top of the mat. Give you a lot of sensation here. Again, you can also grab one of your books. If your hip is popping up real high, bring the ground closer to you. Boom, you're here. This may feel great. You can also grab that block or book. Forearms can come to the block or book. Giving yourself support where you need it. Now, to talk through figure four so you can get a similar sensation, we're going to bring that right ankle on top of that left knee. Think about in this position here, sliding that left foot in, pressing that right knee out as you leverage your chest forward. So you might be here and get enough sensation. That's cool. You can be all the way back here and getting plenty of sensation. You work where you're at. Simple as that. Like, I don't have to be in pigeon to get that really good outer hip stretch. The dog just sighed at me. So we're gonna meet back in down dog. So if you're on your back doing figure four or seated doing figure four, we'll meet back in down dog. If you're in pigeon, The way you can come out of it is that back toe curls under. We'll press back into down dog. That left foot's going to come through between your hands, back knee will drop. Press those hips forward. Again, you can hang out here. Gently pressing yourself out. So I'm pushing my right hip forward, leaning here. I'm still trying to keep a nice little tuck. Not like hyperextending and just completely sagging, letting those hips go all over the place. Pulling that left hip back, keeping myself secure without hyperextending. Now, if you want your hand variation, take whichever one feels better for you. You can also go for that nice little side body addition here, reaching up and over, with that left hand or forearm planted on your thigh. From here, hands will frame that foot. We're going to go for that lizard lunge. Again, make any adjustments you need to make this work for you. Hip shift back. Maybe here feels really great. If you need more, lean forward as you pull that left hip back. If you need less, back out of it. Point and flex your foot here. Make it feel good for you. I'm just sitting down because I've already done this routine and my hamstrings are almost overstretched. So from here, we'll point and flex those toes. Give yourself any little additional movements you need. If you want more, weight shifts forward. We're going to go for that lizard lunge, so that left foot heel toes out of the way. So make yourself comfortable here. I have my dog acting like a little diva in the corner. So lizard lunge, give yourself any support that you need, keeping an eye on her in case she decides to run in front of the camera. Give yourself whatever support that you need here. So hands can come to that forearm or block. Boom, here, feels good. If you want that twist, you can take the twist. We're going to go for that pigeon, so you can do that nice little scooch across. Boom, set yourself up here. You can go for that seated variation or a variation of figure four on your back. We're just trying to go for a nice little outer hip stretch. I just slid Harry Potter underneath my forearms. I want you to consider pulling that left hip down and back to maybe deepen the stretch a little bit. Excuse me. And while you're hanging out here, maybe you have one thought that's replaying in your head, one kind of funky, happy thing this week that made you laugh. Or maybe made other people laugh and then you started laughing. My favorite thing is when more than one person gets that uncontrollable fit of the giggles. We're going to come into butterfly pose next. So from pigeon, we're just going to pull that left hip on down to the ground. Right foot's going to spin around in front. If you were here or on your back, you already beat us here to butterfly. Heels are closer in towards your inner thigh. Hands can be on your ankles, on your feet. And we're just going to fold forward here. Again, maybe grab a couple of stacks of books. and coming down as far as you can. Don't even think about like craning your head up to look at me. I'll tell you when we're moving in the next posture. So you can allow your chin to drop here, neck to be heavy. Three to six more breaths if you need it. If you don't, you can start backing out already. When you're ready, we're going to come back up into that nice seated position. We're going to slide those heels out so we're making much more of a diamond shape. Wiggle around until you feel your hip bones press down to the ground. And we're going to hinge forward here. So we're just leaning the chest forward versus trying to bring our forehead down to our feet. And we're here. Now, you don't have to hold your head up to look. Just maybe check out your toes. Maybe you close your eyes. Allow tension to ease out from your neck. We're going to come up nice and tall. If you need more time, you take more time. Feet are going to extend out in front of you. This is, pardon my reach. I have a belt. You can use a belt. You can use a towel. You can use a tie. You can use washcloth. You can use whatever's going to help elongate your reach. Wiggle your bum around until you feel your butt bone press down into the mat or ground, wherever you're at. Run a lasso the soles of your feet. So this might give you enough of a stretch. As you need more sensation, think again about hinging at the hips, leaning the chest forward. Gaze is forward before starting to allow yourself to come a little bit deeper into the posture. If your hamstrings are super flexible and you're like, your chest and forehead are already on your knees, mine are not that flexible anymore. You can grab, I got Deathly Hollows again. I'm going to put it on the bottom of my feet. It's going to elongate my reach so I can pull myself a little deeper into the posture. A few breaths here. Whenever I'm here, I'm a big fan. I just tend to almost give myself like a little foot massage, like a little toe massage. I'll grab on my toes, maybe pop them a few times, especially if you are in the health industry and you are working a lot on your feet. Maybe your feet hurt. Just grab that outside edges and maybe press on that arch of your foot a little bit. And come up nice and tall. Reverse tabletop here or reverse plank. I'm going to talk through reverse tabletop. Feet will slide in. Fingertips are going to point out away from your body, or they can point in towards your bum. Whatever is more comfortable on your wrists. And a plant, press through the whole of your foot, squeeze your hips, press your hips up, allow your head to drop back here. Still breathe here. Don't forget about breathing. Don't hold your breath. We're going to lower back down to your bum. Taking the tension out. That's a pit stop pose just to help open yourself back up. So, a few more postures before we kind of ease way more heavily into the relaxation of your practice. I'm grabbing, again, my Harry Potter book because it's on top. If you are somebody who has really mobile ankles and really mobile knees, you won't have to use this. This is just, hey, my hips are tight, I have knee pain, I have ankle pain whenever I do this stretch otherwise. we're doing half reclined warrior. So that book is going up underneath my hips. From the front end, it doesn't look like much different. Half reclined warrior, one leg goes in front, so my left leg's in front. My right knee and left knee are trying to be as close together as possible. My heel is on the outside of my hip. What I have essentially done for a side profile is I've helped elevate my hips to take that pressure off the top of my ankle and off of my knee. From here, I can recline back, getting a nice big stretch in the quad. Maybe coming back to those forearms. Don't recline all the way back here if your hips are lifted. It's harder to get out more than anything. So if you're somebody who, I'm going to step out, back out. If you're somebody who, when the coach calls straddle when we're doing mobility for class, and it's not so much your quads are tight as your ankles and your knees are tight, elevating your hips will help. So in the gym setting, when we get back there, you can always use like an ab mat or a rolled up yoga mat to help give your hips a little bit more lift to where you can sink back without putting that pressure on your ankle. We're going to come up. Because we're already on the block, we're just going to switch sides. So that right leg's going to go long. Left leg's going to come to the side. So my heel's on the outside of my hip here. And lean back. As you need more, maybe come down to your forearms. We still want to keep the knees together and try and not let that left knee pop up. We want to press that down to the ground. When you're ready, we're going to come up. Again, with all postures, if something feels good, hold on to it, continue with that posture. We're going to move into child's pose. We're going to start with one variation. We'll go into a second. I want knees together, feet together. So I'm essentially sitting on my heels here. From here, I'm going to fold my torso over my legs, and arms can reach over your head. You can press through the base of your knuckles to push your hips back more towards your heels, or you can allow them to come down by your side and just allow your head to relax. By bringing your knees together, we're giving your spine something to kind of fold over so we can help introduce a little bit of space back into your low back. So from here, just breathe. Come back to whatever happy thought you had at the beginning of the class. Feel a little bit like Peter Pan here. Just think happy thoughts. But that's what helps. If you feel yourself starting to go down that spiral, most of us go through a spiral, come back to the really cute thing your kid did, or your dog, or your roommate, or the text message a friend sent you. Whatever brought a smile to your face, come back to whatever thought that was. And if it's changed throughout your practice, it's fine. I just want that lightness to continue within your practice. We will go into a second set of child's pose. My big toes are together here. So if you look, big toes are together. Knees are going to point out towards the edges of the mat. My hips are still on my heels. That's a mobility thing. It's easy for me to do that. If it's not easy, that's fine. We're just going to fold forward, coming down as deeply as you can, allowing your arms to reach up overhead and head to relax down. As we think about all those happy little thoughts. I want to offer something else. I want to offer an idea of excitement, of a small thing. Maybe you have a fun thing planned. I'm a huge fan of the fact that I have a massive garden that I'm working on. And I'm going through a drive-through plant sale tomorrow, and I'm extremely excited about it. And that is bringing some excitement and a smile back to my face. Maybe you're sharing something with your child that you haven't had the time to share. It might be baking, it might be gardening, it might be showing them how to throw a football properly. It might be showing them how to do woodworking, like practical, applicable skills. If you don't have a kid, maybe it's I texted with a friend and I have a Zoom date set up with them tomorrow, and you are excited about that. I want you to keep the joy in your past and start bringing some excitement into your future. So moving from this child's pose, hands are going to walk up, feet are going to swing out in front of you. I want you to lay down in whatever resting posture you need. And if you don't need to lay down to rest, that's fine. Do your little crisscross applesauce. Elevate your hips. I'm a big fan of for a resting posture, just for the sake of demoing. I like to bring the soles of my feet together. I'm trying not to clothesline myself. I'll bring my nice thick books underneath my knees. As I lean back, I allow my knees to be gently supported here. Just as a way, maybe you need to pop them up a little bit. It's working better for Harry Potter than it is Matterhorn. Oh well. Just allow yourself to be propped up here. You can also, another one I'm fond of, if you have a pillow or a block or bolsters, I've got my pillowcase full of blankets. It's going to come underneath my knees. And I'm just going to allow my knees to kind of start to hang heavy. So take the next few moments and get yourself comfortable. I'm going to sit and talk. So you don't have to do what I'm doing. If you want to do what I'm doing, that's cool. On your big inhale, just want you to feel yourself and take up space. On your exhale, allow your shoulders to melt, whether it's in the mat, into your mat, or down your spine, or into the carpet. Maybe this is indicated where the dog's going to come lay down with you and curl up with you. You can pet your dog. You don't have to be completely still. Allow your eyes to close. This is where I'm going to kind of push for you to close your eyes. So I'm going to scooch a little closer. And I'm going to introduce a little different variation to that full body scan that we started your practice with. On your inhale, I want you to feel a warmth starting in the center of your chest. Depending on what you like, maybe it's that feeling of warmth when you drink a cup of hot tea where it comes down into your throat and centers in that chest. Or maybe it's a good whiskey or bourbon, where you kind of feel it center in that chest as it seeps down into your belly. Feel that warmth. If it helps, you can imagine a light going with it. Maybe a nice golden warm light starting your chest, traveling down into your belly. Soothing any tightness held in your chest, any butterflies in your stomach. Then allow that warmth and that feeling to travel into your hips, loosening your hips, helping you ease any tension, anything that's kind of feeling loose, or just helping invite that feeling. Allow that warmth to travel down your legs, into your soles of your feet, until your entire lower body feels like it's kind of melted, like you're floating in maybe a nice warm bath. I like to feel like I'm floating in the ocean. That nice air temperature warmth. Now, as you breathe, pull that warmth up into your body and allow it to pull into the shoulders. Allow it to radiate down your shoulders, into your arms, into your hands, and into your fingertips. Relaxing and easing any tension held in your shoulders, Allow that warmth to travel down the length of your spine, up and down, spreading into the ribs, just really helping to loosen everything up. On your next inhale, that warmth travels into your throat, easing your voice. Maybe you've been doing a lot of hollering lately. Allow your voice to relax, your breathing to come unhurried. Allow that warmth to travel into your jaw, easing any tension held in your jaw, especially if you're maybe a teeth clencher at night, maybe you grind your teeth. Feel your jaw get loose and heavy. Then allow that warmth to travel from your jaw to right around your eyes, especially if you've been squinting a lot. Maybe you don't have the right glasses with you, just been squinting a lot. Allow the sides of your face to relax, to loosen up. Allow the warmth to travel into the crown of your head, forehead, and coming out the crown of your head. Till with each breath, you're feeling relaxation. You're feeling warmth. You're feeling at ease. And you're feeling maybe a little more centered. Maybe a little more rejuvenated. Allow your breathing to be full and nourishing here, filling your chest and your belly. On your exhale, releasing anything from the week that you're holding on to that you don't need to. Maybe it was that snippy thing somebody said to you. Or maybe it's this constant barrage of news. On your inhale, feel the warmth, and on your exhale, let that shit go. Just let it relax. Come to whatever happy thing from this week. Pull that thought. Allow yourself to smile here. Allow your cheeks to almost kind of ache a little bit from smiling. And then think about the week to come and something that is giving you excitement. With that, feel your heart start to beat, maybe a little more excitement. Maybe you're getting a little amped, not quite, getting close to bedtime. Those are two feelings I want to encourage you to hold on this week. That feeling of joy and that feeling of excitement. It's okay to feel what you gotta feel, but I want to invite that into your life. When you are ready to move, just take a nice big full body stretch. If you are sitting down, just let your arms reach up overhead, toes point down like you're waking up. If you're sitting up like I am, you can reach your arms up overhead. I'm putting my feet out, just getting nice and big, maybe doing those nice little creakly fingers. And then I'm just going to close with something I did last time, just because this is how I typically close my physical yoga practices when I'm in a classroom. We're going to bring our hands together to your head, your forehead for kind thoughts, your mouth for kind words, and your heart for good intentions. I want you to take that with you into the week. Thank you so much for letting me guide your practice. Please join us for that Zoom session on Sunday. I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a nice night.